Right, good. Great again. We're always saying that you should stop dreaming and start doing. It is doable because it was done by others, and we can continue doing it and building our knowledge every day. So, back again to it, we want to say that we can solve now linear equations by elimination. Remember, we talked about substitution, whereby we said to substitute is simply to get one unknown in another unknown. So we simply remove one unknown and replace it with another one. Now, when we talk of elimination, to eliminate, we said earlier, is simply to remove, simply to eject, to get out of the way, to remove something from where it is at the current time. So this is at it now. We are at it again, and we look at how to solve these questions called linear by the elimination. Now, how do you eliminate? How do you remove one equation from the other? This is what you do. Let's look at a slight example here. Let's say we have our x plus y is equals to 3. That's an equation 1. Let's say then we have something like 2x plus 2y, or rather let's say plus just a y. Let's say maybe okay, a 4y to give us, let's say, a number like 5. So we have these equations, and we say that these are called simultaneous equations. Simultaneous, yep, simultaneous equations. So how do you solve simultaneous equations? These are equations that come in a package of a pair. So they are paired equations, but they have similar, of course, similar they have what we call similar unknowns. They are algebraic expressions, equations, I mean, with similar kind of unknowns. So in this case, for us to eliminate, we're saying we rename our equations. Say this is x plus y, saying that is now the solution part of what we do. So x plus y is giving us 3. This is, we said, equation 1. That is our equation 1. Then we have our 2x plus our 4y giving us 5. That one is our equation 2. So what do we do in this case? We said we are eliminating, we are removing one unknown. Let's say in this case, we want to eliminate, to remove all x's so that we remain with y. What do we do? So what we do is, if we have this as a 2x, now we eliminate by either we can multiply by a negative, we can negate them, we can subtract them out. We find a way of how to get away, get it from the way, get it from the position, that is the unknown. We remove it from where it is. So this x and the 2x we can eliminate. We can remove an x or a y. But in this case, I'm interested with x's. How do we remove this x? Now, in this case, we can do it by subtraction. Now, for us to balance, so that when we subtract, of course, x minus x, we shall get a 0. We have to make sure that they are equal. So how do we make this x be equal to this one? That means we shall multiply the first equation by 2 so that x becomes a 2. And this one, we shall retain it, or we simply multiply by 1 because we don't want any change with this one here. So this is what we do now. Multiply the first equation by 2. Multiplying this by 2, we shall have, we have said multiply this by 2. This one is retained, or we multiply by 1. So if we do that, we shall have 2 into x plus y is equals to 3. Remember, we are also multiplying that by 2 because equal sign means everything will change. So we shall have 2x plus 2y is equals to 6. So that is our equation 1. That is our equation 1. New equation, of course. Let's call it equation 3. This is our equation 3, new one. Then this one is a 2x plus 4y is equals to 5. It is retained. That is our, let's say, that's our equation 4. We are just retaining it because we have said we are multiplying this by 1. So we can say it is equation 4. There are other cases whereby you'll find you'll multiply the upper equation by a different number and another different number more greater than 1. So in this case, we have this. Now, we said up to there, we can subtract any of the equations from each other. We can subtract this one from here so that we have subtraction there. So we have 2x minus 1. This is 0. This gives you 0, of course. Then we have 2y. So 2y minus 4y. This gives us negative 2y. It's a negative because 4 is greater. So this will give us negative 2y is equals to 6. Subtract 5, you get 1. Then now, because we want our y here, we can now solve for y. So we divide both sides by the coefficient of y. So we have negative 2. Also here, negative 2. So this one divides and gives us a positive. Negative and a negative dividing, we get a positive. So in this case, we remain with y giving us negative half. So by doing that, we've already gotten the value of y. The value of y is now there. So next, we can now come up with the value of x. Value of x using the substitution now. Substitution still now comes in here. So you can use now y. You substitute into any equation, any of the equations now. So let's say we substitute it into this other one here. We substitute it into the first equation. So value of y, value of x, value of x. How do you get that? Substitute the value of y in any of the two equations. That is what you do. Any of the two equations now, because you have the value of y, you can infuse it back into any of these. So let's say x plus y is equals to 3. But we know the value of y. But y is equals to negative a half. So, or 0.5. So what do? We bring it in here. So wherever we have y, we shall put there negative a half. So here we shall have x plus, that is negative a half. Negative and a positive will give us just a negative. So we shall just have x minus a half will give us a 3. So what is this that we shall have to do here? We have to move the negative a half to the other side so that we remain with x. So we shall have our x given by, this one is taken to the other side. So we shall have 3. Because we are subtracting, we have now to add. So we have to add a half. So at the end of the day, our x's can work it out and tell us. Correct. It is 3 and a half. So by doing that, you have the value of x there and you have the value of y. So this is what we call elimination. We have eliminated, we have removed, we have taken it out of the position x, and then using now y that we get, we still substitute it back. So these methods will always work and infuse into each other in a certain way. So that is what you do, guys. And because you can see this, we can now make a practice of this. We can solve this by substitution and pause and solve it. Let's say 2x plus y gives us 4. And then whenever we have x plus 3y to give us 6. Can work out that this one here using elimination. I know you can do it because somebody else was able to do it. It is doable. Every day, small steps, we build up knowledge, and that is how we transform ourselves into a hub of knowledge. Shalom.